Welcome, everybody. I am Alana.
And I'm Lady.
And this is Spookery. Alrighty, everybody. Hello. Welcome back.
Hello. Welcome to Season 2.
Season 2. It is another week of Season 2. It is my first story of Season 2. I am so excited.
Are you ready? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Are you feeling? You got the Season 2 energy in your
literally all of the above. Like, all of the above. Like you said, I'm excited. I'm nervous. I feel prepared, but also, like, not prepared. But I'm so excited. I love just recording episodes with you, ma'am. So I'm so glad we're here. Season 2.
Season freaking 2. And I know it's going to be an amazing one, because I feel like you've teased me a little bit with this one, like, throughout the week. And I just know that you're just going to, like, knock it out the park. It's going to be amazing. I'm here for it. I cannot wait to hear what you tell me today.
I'm excited to share it with you. As I always do, I wrote my script exactly for you. And like you said, I teased it a little bit last week with my little thing of saying it's a cool story. Mm-hmm. And I do mean that literally. It's a little bit of a dad joke. By the end, you'll be like, Alana, that's not funny. And I'll be like, I know.
If it's a dad joke, I will find it funny. That's a spookery guarantee.
Well, then you're in for a great surprise.
I love it. I'm so here for it.
I'm really excited to piggyback off of last week's episode, though. If you guys haven't listened to that already, definitely go check it out. Lady did a fantastic job last week with her tale of the Muffin Man. Completely just, there's a left turn in there that you just won't see coming. So just be ready, have fun with it.
Yes. You might hate me by the end of the episode, but that's okay, because you have to tell me if the left turn got you. You legally have to tell me.
You legally do. We need to know. It got me. I was like, who would lie on the internet?
Lying on the internet?
It was for good reason.
Not I.
It was for good reason.
Oh man, I just know, like, you're like, I feel like last week was a bit like of a joke episode. Like, it didn't really feel like Season 2 kicked in, because it wasn't. For spoiler alert, it wasn't quite, a real story.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. If you haven't listened to Muffin Man, what are you doing?
Right, seriously.
So I feel like you're really going to usher in, like, the real intro to Season 2. Like, this is actually where Season 2 begins, where it's like, no, not funny business. Let's actually talk about things and cases and spooky stuff, because, like, Lady's not bringing it to the table this week. Right?
No, it is, like you said, it is definitely spookier. We're getting on track with that. But as we all know, my first category is survivors. So while it is spooky, we're kind of ending on a high note again today, because, spoiler alert, someone survives. So
I didn't see this coming.
I know. I'm so sorry to spoil the ending for you. But someone does live. There's a happy ending,
yeah.
like, so to speak,
The twist comes in from, like, what do they survive? Because to have a survivor, they must have something to survive. And who knows?
Exactly. And this is also our first spookery survivor story in general, so I really do hope I do it justice. I think this is a pretty, like, wild, but, like I said, kind of, like, wholesome story, so I'm excited. I did kind of want to expand, like, my own perception, I think, of this category, because, like you said, when you think of survivor, at least for me, my immediate thought goes to, like, true crime, and, like, someone survived a situation that was caused by another human. Like, there's like a perpetrator involved. Someone did something to someone. But in the story that we are discussing today, there is no perpetrator. It's just an unbelievable, dire, dare I say, spooky circumstance in which another human being just absolutely willed themselves to live.
I am so intrigued, because I thought it was a shoo-in we were going the true crime route. I'm
right?
Like, I'm ready to hear the evil of humanity and, like, the amazing tenacity that this person had to survive. You've blown my mind. I'm like, there's no one I can be angry at. It's just something that can happen.
Okay. And that's it. So, like, I'm glad I kind of blew your mind with that too, because I did that for myself. Because when I think this category, my mind, it immediately does the same thing. I'm like, true crime, there's someone to be mad at, there's someone to blame, there's a perpetrator. But there's survival stories of people just surviving in situations that, like, it was no one's fault. They just found themselves in this situation that it's a dire situation, and they just have to survive. And by golly, that's what happened in the situation.
Apparently, I am so intrigued. I cannot wait to hear this story. Like,
Heck,
blow my mind, Magic Man.
All right. So today we are going to be telling the story of Jean Hilliard, now Vig, a woman from Langby, Minnesota, USA. For context, Langby is just a quaint, picturesque small town located in northern Minnesota. And when I say small, I am talking about a city with a population of less than 100 people.
Wow, so it's a full, like, Antelope, Oregon situation we got going on.
Yeah, it's tiny. According to worldpopulationreview.com, as of 2023, they are currently actually at 88 residents. So their small town is even smaller than it was back in the day.
Wow, okay. Sure.
Yeah. So I'm sure, like you said, when your neighbor farts, like, you hear about it. It's a real small town. I'm sure they know everybody.
Everyone knows everyone. Do we know if it's like a retirement town like Antelope was, or is this more like it's just 88 people who randomly found themselves in this tiny ass town?
Yeah, it's 88 people because there are people of all ages. I actually looked up specifically. It's funny you ask that because I did kind of just read some facts. Like, I think it said like the median age of people was like, what was it? It was like 34, I think, for men, and like 35 for women. Like, so it's like, it's pretty like middle aged. Like, so, but there's people of all ages. There's kids in high school. There's kids in elementary school. There's adults going to work. There's people retired. It's somehow this like thriving community of 100 people. Like,
I love it. Yeah. I'm here for it.
So, but like I said, we're not talking about Langby, Minnesota in present day today, not with 88 people. The story we are telling takes place back on the cold night of December 20th of 1980.
Right before Christmas.
Yeah, right around Christmas. The holidays.
Krampus.
It's...
Not Crimbo.
Not Crimbo, right? It's kind of like a spooky little Christmas story. Maybe I should have waited till the holidays to tell this one, but I just heard this one myself, and I was like, I knew this was for Spookery. Like, it fits.
I don't know the town. I don't know Minnesota very well, and a spooky, Christmassy kind of, I guess, Christmas miracle, because it's a survivor story. So
yeah, people do call it a miracle. Actually, it's funny you say that. We'll come back to that. More on that later. Stop reading my script.
I'm sorry.
Like I said, town of Langby back in the day of 1980 was actually, they had a population of about 123 back then. So they were a little bit bigger. They were booming. There was some people. One of those occupants was none other than our 19-year-old heroine of the story, Jean Hilliard herself. She was freshly graduated from Foston High School. She had a graduating class of, I put in here, look at photo to find out, because I didn't actually look, like, they didn't give me the number. I just looked at a photo of the graduating class, and I needed to go back and count how many people. So cut this out, maybe insert that later. If not, we'll just leave it in. We'll see.
Yeah, no, I'm not one to cut things out if they're funny. So.
I was too lazy to go back and read. I don't know if it's even worth it. It was a pretty small class.
If you want to put my suspected graduation class, this was before I came to the States, but my suspected class graduation, my number of kids that were supposed to graduate with me from high school was 7.
Oh, okay, it was more than 7, because
more than 7.
Yeah, I would have counted if it was 7. Give me some credit. I appreciate.
I think small graduation class, I think I have the best one. But
yes, no.
Also, that wasn't actually I think my actual graduation was like 350, because I came to the States right before. But when I was a freshman, and their speculated graduation class was 7.
Wow.
So I'm going to say it's somewhere between 7 and 35.
I think that is a solid guess. I'm going to say absolutely. Let's insert that there. Perfect. Cut it out. Insert 7 through 35.
Anywhere from 7 to 35.
Yes. So Jean Hilliard, she, like I said, freshly graduated. She was headed out on the night on the town with some friends and her boyfriend. Where were they going? Only out dancing and drinking to the hottest spot in town. Yep, you guessed it. The Foston American Legion.
What? The Foston American Legion? Like, what is that?
So, again, stop reading. For those that don't know, the American Foston Legion is a non-profit patriotic organization focused on serving veterans, service members, and such. But basically, the American Legion, like, from my understanding, because I've been there once in my life, to the one in my town, it's basically like a community center with a lot of old Army guys that just like to hang out. It's like, just like I said, a non-profit place where these people can go and hang out any time of the day. They can hang out with their buddies. Some people have events there. Like I said, for reference, from the one time I was there, we held my grandma's 70th birthday party. Like, it was a surprise party, and all her Army buddies, we all got together and hid in this American Legion building that was just this giant, like, warehouse type of thing. And we drove her up, and she was like, oh, yay. So, it's cute.
So is it like a militaristic YMCA?
That's a great, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes. So, yeah, it's like you said, a militaristic YMCA. They're nice. They're great for their community. Okay. So this was where the kids were going out. They were going to the American Legion on a, I I should have looked up. I think it was a Friday night. Who knows?
I mean, it was bumping. It was the 20th of December. Well, maybe before to the 20th of December, but it was like, it's Christmas time. We got to celebrate with all of our army buddies, our siblings, our brothers, our parents, our grandparents. We're just going to party it up in the snowy... Minnesota is snowy in December, I am assuming.
It is.
I don't know Minnesota.
Very snowy, yes.
Very snowy. So, yeah. Bam.
Bam. Yeah, no, it
Beautiful
is.
night.
It is. It's a pretty beautiful place. When I actually looked up other places in Langby, and someone from Langby, if you correct me if I'm wrong, but it looked like there was only one restaurant in the town, so I don't think there's many options of, like, other places to go.
This is very Antelope. It's very Erdington and Antelope.
Yeah.
Because, like, of course, like, in Erdington Murders, there's, like, they were all going out dancing, and they were just celebrating, and it was just, like, a big community night, and then Antelope is just tiny.
Yeah, no, exactly. It was just this tiny little town. This was the place to be. I'm sure, like, everyone in town was there. So they were out partying, like you said, celebrating the holidays. They were having a grand old time, probably celebrating the recent graduation, too. Like, these kids just graduated high school. They're like, heck yeah, out hanging out. She's got her boyfriend. Life's on, she's on the cusp of her future. She's super happy. And then her and her friends they partied the night away. She finally decided to head home around midnight, and she opted to take a shortcut, It's late.
No, never take shortcuts.
It's late. There's a nice shortcut through an icy gravel road just south of Langby. But she wasn't worried, though. She's got her dad's vehicle. It is a truck. It's a Ford LTD, and it has rear-wheel drive. So
I'm not very optimistic with this icy gravel road at midnight. Don't take shortcuts at midnight, kids. Nothing good happens after 11 p.m.
That's a fact. That's a true fact. Nothing good happens after 11, except for Spookery. No. Spookery's great, and it gets released.
Yes. I mean...
We're the exception, not the rule, kids.
We are. But we're also, like, we're after midnight, like, 3, I almost said 3 p.m. That's not correct. 3 a.m. I'm not all here. Only half of me is checked into the Spookery this evening.
3 a.m. Oh, man.
Man.
But yeah.
It's, just be safe out there, everybody. Be safe.
Be safe. So she's good. She's in this car. So Jean, she began to drive as carefully as she could through the dark and icy roads on this cold Minnesota night. Unfortunately, though, despite her best efforts, she would lose control and she would swerve off the road, landing the truck in a ditch. So now, like we talked about before, this was Minnesota in December. So for those that are unaware, December in Minnesota is very cold and very wet. During the warmest part of the day, it is usually still considered freezing, and at midnight, it could potentially get to sub-zero temperatures.
Oh, this is like worst nightmare, especially like you're like, she's a kid. She's just graduated high school. Like,
she's 19.
She's 19. She's on her own. And it's like, it's also like, not only is that, oh fuck, I'm in a ditch. It's fuck, I totaled my dad's car. Like, I would be so devastated if I was driving out, like, and I veered off on my own right after I graduated. I feel like I would be like, my dad's gonna kill me, and everything's gonna be good.
You completely read exactly what she said. In the moment at the time, she was so much more scared of just her dad finding out she crashed the truck than she was of even this cold. She's from Minnesota. She's been in cold, she wasn't even that worried about that. She's like, I'm not that far from town. I just crashed my dad's truck. I just had a great night out and I cried. How am I going to tell my dad that I crashed my truck? That was her main concern at that moment, actually. So you hit the nail on the head with that.
I feel like it's such a human response as well. It's like, it's never I'm in danger. It's fucks, I'm gonna get I'm gonna have disappointed or have upset someone I love. It's just
right. It is, like you said. You don't think your first thought in situations like that is not oh my god, I'm gonna die. You just immediately are just oh my gosh, like you said, I crashed this truck. I have to tell my dad the consequences of my actions. Oh shit.
Yes. That's... Well. If it isn't the consequences of my own actions.
Exactly. So. Unfortunately, Jean, like you said, was kind of unaware of the dire situation she was in. She was 19 years old, in the dead of night, in freezing temperatures, with no cell phone, because this is the 80s. So she was completely stranded and alone, out in the middle of nowhere, and, there's snow around her.
It's stressful.
Yeah.
So stressful.
So stressful. So she really did not have that many options of what to do from here. It really came down to two decisions, two options. She could stay in the car and wait till morning, which she'd probably freeze. Yeah, the cars back then not that well insulated, and if the car, I'm assuming, ran into this ditch, is not working, she can't just leave it on. Things like that don't work. So the other option, kind of obvious, is to walk. So equipped with her cowboy boots, Jean made up her mind that she was going to walk. This
is exactly what I would do. This is 100% the choices that I would make. I would be like, oh fuck, I've totaled my dad's car. It's midnight. I'm freezing. But I'm risking like walking for 2 hours or being stranded for 6. And like,
yes.
I would be like, home, I know the direction that home is in. I will just walk that way. Everyone in this town knows me. Someone will see me. This would be me. This 100% would be me.
And that is exactly what she thought. She actually, like you said, she didn't make it too far to home, but she wasn't too far from one of her friend's house, actually, Wally Nelson, one of the people that she was actually out with the night before. It was her boyfriend's best friend, in fact. So she was like, I know Wally, I can head to Wally's house. He's, like you said, probably in her head, like 2 hours if I start walking right now. So she's like, the sooner the better, let me just start going with it. So she sets off in his direction. So the situation, I mean, it's, at least in hindsight, seems pretty terrifying, right? Like like looking at it from this like perspective of like being an omniscient person that knows the outcome. It's like, holy shit. Yeah. But in the moment, like you said, she's out in the middle of the night, blistering cold, all alone. She's just more frustrated than scared. I mean,
think in mind of like the time period as well. This is the 80s. Like, this is not like internet era. This is not like inconvenienced by modern technology. This is like, I feel like walking and just like, especially like just thriving in these small towns, that was just so common. It wasn't even like fuck, I'm stuck on this road and I don't know how to get there because I don't have Google Maps. It was like, fuck, well, now I'm gonna get in trouble and I gotta walk for 2 hours and I'm very inconvenienced. It was more of like, that was just a thing you did. You just got on with it. The 80s was a different time.
You're absolutely right, actually. That's a perspective that I really hadn't considered, just because, like you said, we're so poisoned now by like the internet and just all the fears that we have with the modern era.
Yeah.
But like back then, they didn't have that kind of stuff instilled in them. There was none of that. It was, especially in this town, I'm sure nothing bad ever happened.
No.
She's not scared of anything other than, like you said, she's just like, oh, I have to walk. I'm in cowboy boots. Like I've been on my feet all night dancing. Like
exactly. And I'm sure this was also like coming off the tailcoats of like hitchhiker territory. This was like, if anyone passes me, I'm gonna know them. I'm gonna know their face. I'm gonna know their family. I can easily just like hop in their car and be like, guys, I fucked up. I totaled my dad's car. It's in a ditch. I'm really sorry. Can you drive me home? And then I will deal with the repercussions when I get there. I just want to be home.
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head with that, actually. Like I said, I really had not considered that perspective just because I just didn't grow up in that time.
Yeah.
But
neither did I.
Man. No, but like, you really thought about it better than I did, so I appreciate you saying that.
That's why we were brought together.
Truly. So she was walking in the snow, which I'm sure was not easy to do with the cowboy boots. And it gets pretty deceiving as you're walking in the snow, because you think like, oh man, like it's all just white, right? So you're like, that's not that far. But then you start walking and you're like, how have I not reached my destination? Like, I've been walking for a while and I haven't reached my destination yet. And so that was kind of like, that was the biggest like thing that she was up against, was her own like perception of how far that she was. So she would get over a hill and she'd think like, oh, I'm almost right, like to Wally's house, and there'd be another hill there. You know what I mean? Like the snow just is so deceiving. And so she just was really more frustrated. She was not like, man, this sucks. She was just like, fuck, like I just want to get to Wally's house. Like how am I not there already?
When I think cowboy boots, I don't think like snow and ice and stuff like that. For me, it's very like arid. I think of Arizona and cowboy boots, not Minnesota and cowboy boots. So I wonder if like she had any good traction. So if she's on like icy gravel and like,
I'm sure she was sliding
on a slick tarmac as well. I'm sure she was slipping and sliding, and it was just like, fuck, I just need to stay upright, which is like twice as exhausting. Like just keeping yourself upright.
Man, that's some crazy foreshadowing right there, isn't it?
Oh no,
that's some unfortunate foreshadowing.
Oh, God.
But yeah, no, like you said, I'm sure that was a bold fashion choice. I'm sure she looked cute as heck, whatever she was wearing the night before.
Fabulous. I think she was rocking it. Belle of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. But she did not plan on walking through icy snow gravel that night. That was not on the agenda, and that was tough on those shoes. These boots were not made for walking, as they
say. They are not doing the thing that they are not meant to do.
Exactly. So, yeah, it was pretty cold. It was 20 below that night, but she continued walking through the icy hills for 2 whole miles.
Wow.
Finally, she breathed a sigh of relief as she could see Wally's house through the trees. Her salvation, she was so close she could taste it on her chapped lips. Her heart raced as she got closer and closer to her goal, and just as she made her way into Wally's yard, her boot caught on something hidden beneath the snow, and Jean tripped forward and fell onto the frosty floor.
Oh, no.
Just as you predicted. Being only a stone's throw away from the house, she began to crawl on her hands and knees until she pulled herself up to Wally's doorstep. Then, all went black for Jean.
Oh, no.
It was reported that her body lay there for the next 6 hours with her eyes frozen wide open.
Holy fuck. That's... You imagine, like, living in that house and, like, seeing that? Like, seeing someone you know, and their eyes are frozen. Oh, that's awful.
She
Frozen
literally,
open?
She literally froze on his front doorstep, just her face just completely staring upward, eyes wide open.
I would be convinced she was dead. I would have been like, wow, okay. Like, that is a whole ass dead body on my front porch, and that's someone I know. I would be hysterical. I would
Absolutely.
be weeping.
Right? And so all the while, like, Wally has no idea, right? He's inside. He was a great guy. Well, he brought home another girl last night, but they were out last night. He picked up some girl because I'm sure he was a super suave dude, and he's like, Wally. Oh yeah, come home with me, let's hang out. And so they were like just chilling inside, probably like playing some checkers, you know, having a grand old time, and they had no idea that Jean was just literally laying helpless right outside.
Oh, that's so awful. That's so awful.
6 hours she laid out there, the two just completely unaware, until the next morning when Wally finally woke up and discovered Jean. And like you said, he was shocked, I think, is an understatement. Like, I don't know, I can't even fathom the feelings that you would go through.
Mine would be guilt, 100%. Like, knowing that just, like, my best friend's girlfriend.
Like you said, how long have you been here? What what?
So look, and I'm sure, like, the state she was in was the fact that her eyes were frozen open. And I'm imagining her, like, sprawled out, like, you know, like, arm reaching towards this fucking door.
Right?
I don't think I would ever forgive myself. Because I'm also the kind of person who I don't casually look outside of my front door, so this would 100% happen to me. I would be Wally. I would be like,
yeah,
I'm vibing inside, like, I'm good, I'm cozy, I'm warm. I'm not paying any attention to what's happening outside. And I think it's discovering someone that I knew on my doorstep, frozen, I would be like, fuck, I could never look this person in the eye again.
Like you said, that, like, this is his best friend's girl, and she's right there, and he's just like, how am I going to explain this to Paul?
Yeah.
I have no idea. It was a crazy roller coaster of emotions, and he has this girl inside that, you know, he just met the night before and brought home. So that's fun. So yeah, really crazy morning for him. So he sees Jean, he grabs her by the collar and finishes kind of pulling her up onto the porch. And at first, like you said, Wally just thought she was dead. She's completely, like, stiff as a board is what he said. Like, literally, a quote from Wally, froze stiffer than a board. But he actually noticed one small thing, just a few tiny details. She had tiny little bubbles coming out of her nose.
Oh my God.
And so that gave Wally hope.
Yeah.
He needed to get her to help right away.
Yes.
But kind of like you said, I don't know exactly the position. I couldn't find details on exactly the position that she was frozen in, but she was frozen solid. So the position that she was in, Wally,
was the position that she stayed.
Yeah, the position that she stayed. Wally and his friendly female nighttime companion tried to load her into the cab of Wally's truck, but she was frozen into this position that she wouldn't fit. They couldn't get her into the car.
Yeah.
And so luckily this woman was actually there, because she's like, yeah, we can use my car, and they loaded her into her car and went straight to the hospital. So
good on you, Wally.
Yeah, no, lucky she was there. But just, Wally even said, he was like, it was a really awkward way to end the night. Like,
yeah. I mean, but, like, kudos to the friendly female nighttime visitor, like, whatever her name is. I'm gonna call her Sally just because that's the first name that popped into my head. But, like, good for Sally. Just being like forget the fun. Like, let's just fucking do this. Get her in the car.
Get her in the car. Like you said, she needs help. Like, if she is still breathing, she needs help now. Yeah. And honestly, it really sounds like from, like, by the end of everything, if she needed to get to help right then. Like, I'm not a doctor, but I don't know how much longer Jean would have actually lasted out there.
No, I would have. I mean, but also, like, can you imagine, like, you find a friend of yours on the door. So I would have immediately, like, what happened to her? What put her in this? Was she running away from someone? Did someone attack her? Like, what's happening underneath everything? Like, what put her in this? My mind would be racing of, like, worst case scenario. I'm like, she's dead. She's fucking, what killed her? My first thought would be, what killed her?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, your brain would go in so many different directions, and not being able to like, there's no answers.
Yeah.
You just like have so many questions and no answers, and your only thought is like, maybe there's still hope to get her help. So they are just rushing as fast as they can toward the Foston Hospital, and when they finally get there, the staff springs into action. Things were off to a pretty grim start. This is something that this hospital particularly hadn't really seen.
Yeah.
So Wally's initial assessment of her being frozen solid was pretty spot on. They immediately start doing things that a normal hospital would do. They try to, get her started with an IV, but she is literally frozen so solid that the needles are breaking as they try to insert these IVs. They after breaking 4 or 5 IVs, they're just like, we don't know what to do. We can't even do basic vital things that we are trained to do. Like they start freaking out a little bit. They're like, what? This small rural hospital, they're just not equipped for this.
No, it's like worst case scenario, nightmare fuel. You've never seen a situation like this before. Like, and I would like, especially if you're like the early morning shift where you're just like, oh, like the big doctors and and then the more experienced nurses are coming in this afternoon, and I'm just the opener, and then suddenly it's just like, fuck, we are in SOS emergency situation, and it's just like, oh no, like I don't know if I would be very calm in that situation.
No. Yeah, I'm sure it was really chaotic that morning. And the crazy thing too is, imagine this small town, like they probably all knew Jean. This is someone they all some of them maybe went out with her and saw her the night before, and they're like, literally what happened between, now and last night that she is on this table frozen solid and her eyes are frozen wide open. She's staring at them this whole time while this is happening. Yeah. Not that she's aware of it, but what? That's as a human being, when eyes are open on someone, you feel like they're they're present.
Oh my god, that's man. And it's one of those where it's like with hypothermia, especially the biggest risk of hypothermia is warming someone up too quickly. I don't know if this is in your notes.
You're reading my script.
I'm so sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, but it's like when I was, I don't know, I was never in a survival phase, but I did a lot of camping, and one of the things that we kind of you have to keep reiterating to yourself is hypothermia is a big deal, especially when you're camping somewhere where it's cold and wet, especially over in the night. I did a lot of desert camping, and deserts at night, they are below freezing. It's real cold, and it was always you can't give them alcohol because that makes it worse. You can't warm them up too quickly because that can actually kill them. Too much body temperature. It's actually what kills a lot of motorcyclists who don't wear proper protective gear.
Really?
Yeah. So when they're on a motorcycle and you're just in a t-shirt and jeans, you're going at a really cold, you got the wind blowing on you, it can be really, really cold. And then when you stop and it you actually your body acclimates to what the actual temperature is, it can put your body into shock.
Wow, interesting. So,
similar, you can't. I know the urge is quickly we need to warm them up, wrap them in warm towels and and the way to do it is to do it very slowly, very meticulously. And it's all lukewarm. You gotta get them back to normal temperature first, very slowly, before you can even think about warming them up, even if they're baking and freezing. I'm
gonna cut you off. I'm don't spoil the end of my story, man.
I'm sorry.
No, but I appreciate the input, and we will come back to that. I'm not cutting you off permanently. It's just we're coming back to it.
We'll swing around. We'll get on that motorcycle and drive back around.
Yes, exactly. We're doing a U-turn, baby. So yeah, no, this hospital, they don't know these things that you're talking about. They just know she's frozen and she needs to not be frozen, right? Yeah. And so they're saying in medicine, especially in situations like this, is no one is dead until they're warm and dead. Which
that is not correct.
Well, it's a saying apparently that I read about, so I don't know how common it is to actually say it, but it's a saying that someone said at one point.
Minnesota, what's fucked up? You got some explaining to do, Minnesota.
You've got some explaining, Minnesota. I don't live in the cold. You know me. I live in the desert, so I've never heard this. We never get cold. We're all warm all the time.
Last I checked, dead bodies are often cold, not warm. If you've got a warm dead body, I don't know how to break this to you. Unless they're a burn victim, I don't think that's the way it should be.
Well, I'm gonna let you take that up with the doctors.
I will fight. I've fought doctors before. I'll do it again. I will. I'll fight them.
Oh gosh.
They might win, but I'll fight them.
But good luck, ma'am. My money's on you. My money. But the doctors, they really did not know what to do. They continued to try everything that they thought of. At one point, they even considered amputating both of her legs to avoid infection from the frostbite.
Oh my God.
But in the end, they decided against it. I don't know what made them decide against it, but thank God they did. The staff had not given up yet, but they only really had one idea left, and it was kind of along your lines. It was a long shot, but they covered Jean's body with heating pads to try to warm her back up.
No!
And then they had to wait. While they waited, one of the hospital staff members contacted her pastor, and they formed a prayer chain for Jean. So they were genuinely trying everything that they could think of. This was a small town that these people probably knew her, and they loved her, and they really wanted her to be okay. They did everything. They did everything they could think of.
Yeah, I mean, good for the town. Like, especially because everyone thankfully is invested in this girl. It's not like a stranger was found on a doorstep, and they're like, well, we don't know who this person is, and are we like invested in helping them?
Yeah, that probably would have changed the situation. Like you said, it probably would have been a lot more observant than like, oh, we need to like make sure that Jean is okay.
Yeah, I think that one they probably would have been more like, yeah, let's amputate all the limbs. Like, let's, like
exactly.
It would have been, I think it would have been a lot. There would have been less, like, genuine thought, I think, and I feel like it would have ended poorly if this was a stranger.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Yeah, no, but luckily they knew this woman, and so they waited and they prayed, and little by little, Jean thawed. And by morning, she was starting to wake up in small spasms. And miraculously, by midday, Jean was fully awake and was talking coherently, as though nothing had happened.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Like, it was I don't want to say a swift recovery, but like, it was recoverable.
Yeah. No, truly. Honestly, Jean's only concern was that she crashed her dad's truck. She was a kid sitting in bed going, did you guys call my dad already? Did you tell him that I crashed his truck? Like,
like you wake up and you're like, fuck, they found the car. And it's like,
yeah. So she wakes up from this and pretty much has no recollection. She's just like, yeah, okay, I'm here.
Wow. I mean, like, that's fantastic. She probably like thought that like, oh, maybe like I like was knocked unconscious by the car accident, and like I'm in here for a concoction, like a concoction.
So I will say that is actually one correction that I wanted to address before we get into too much else. I did kind of change one thing for just the telling of the story, just because it was a little hard for me to explain it anyway else. Mm-hmm. So she actually blacked out once she actually kind of saw Wally's house. But it was hard for me to, like I said, tell the story from like a blacked out perspective from there. So I just kind of included that she was still awake at that point. But she doesn't remember actually crawling to Wally's doorstep, but that's where she was found. So she blacked out when she saw his house, but somehow like she kept moving. Her body kept on going, and she woke up at like which is crazy.
I mean, I also feel like, you know, it's part of that, you know, when you're stressed, you've got a lot of adrenaline in your body. Like your only thought is, I need to get through this. I need to survive this. I just need to get to the destination. And as soon as you kind of get yourself relaxed a little bit, your actual fatigue, your actual like
your adrenaline, all that.
Yeah, it all starts to like lower a little bit. So it probably was, as soon as she saw Wally's house, she was like, I'm safe. And it started to relax the body a little bit. And, you know, her body's probably an autopilot, so, but she might have just like relaxed her brain enough. She might have relaxed that neurological like sequence enough where the fatigue really, like, I mean, she's been walking in the freezing cold for hours. I'm sure that at that point she was like, I'm safe. As soon as she had like that thought, was like, oh, I'm safe. Wally's house is right there. That was when it kind of deteriorated. And yeah,
I think you're exactly right. You are exactly right. I think that's, like you said, that was that release of like, I'm safe. She saw it. That was her salvation. Mm-hmm. And that was enough. Like the adrenaline's a crazy drug, man. It's a hell of a drug. It powers you through crazy situations. And the minute you're off of it, the come down, like you said, is wild. And so that must have been, like, in her post-adrenaline state, she kind of blacked out a little bit, but her body physically kept moving out of, like, that natural, like, safe response, and that's where she was found.
Yeah, and I mean, I had, like, a similar thing. Like, I broke my arm when I was really, really young. I don't remember the pain. I don't remember what my arm looked like. I only had the thought where it's like, fuck, I think I might have hurt myself. I didn't say fuck because I was 4, but I was like, oh, ouch. I think I hurt myself. So my only thought was, I need to get to mom. I need to get to my mom, and like, she'll make me feel better. Because when you're young, it's just like mom makes everything better.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the pain. I remember like crowds parting, like getting out of my way as I made my way to mom. But I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, oh, like they know I'm trying to get to my mom. And I was like, Mom, I think I hurt myself. And then like, as soon as like I felt like I was good because I was with my mom, I don't remember a lot. And then I woke up in the hospital and they had reconstructed my entire arm. Well, my elbow. They've reconstructed my entire elbow. And it was just sort of like, oh yeah, like I just needed to make myself feel safe. And as soon as I like made the decision that I was safe, I don't remember anything else.
Yeah, you let yourself feel the pain because your body, like it's not like a cure, like adrenaline, like it's not a cure for the pain. No. It's just a cover. It just lets you like temporarily not feel that. It delays it so you can get to a point of, like you said, safety, of allowing yourself to feel those crazy feelings, like because your body's gonna react, but you need to make sure you're in the right environment to do that. And I think that's the perfect comparison. You explained it great. That's exactly what happened. So for the sake of the story, I changed that one little thing, but I wanted to correct that because that is from her own recollection. That's how things played out, is she doesn't remember actually going there. And I think that's really important to the story, but it was hard for me to tell that in the moment.
No, and I totally get it. It's like, you know, that we know where she was found and we know that she got there somehow. And I'm gonna take a stab in the dark. It was probably the adrenaline that got her there. And as soon as she was like, I'm safe, that's when like the whole body shut down, because it was like, I'm safe, we're good now.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. But moving on, the craziest part of the story, truly, like for me, and you hit the nail on the head. That's why I had to cut you off. Is just it's not even the fact that she was frozen solid. It's not even the fact that she was a human popsicle, right? Like that apparently is not that uncommon of a thing. But the crazy part is that they thawed her out with heating pads, because that is just so, like, that could have gone so wrong. Like the key to making sure that someone like thaws out correctly is to make sure that their blood and their heart, like their organs, thaw at the same time. Like they need to thaw out like at even amounts at the same time, because if one of the two thaws out more quickly than the other, you really run into the risk of running, like there's just major issues. So this is where I tried my best to put on my science hat here, and I'm really glad that I have more of a science expert with me, because I did my research the best that I could, but this is just definitely, I'm not a science person, okay? I don't know.
Your science hat is gorgeous, by the way. I love the flowers.
Thank you. Like you said, I made it as pretty as I could. As gorgeous. We all know, I only have my associates in bro science though, so please, like I said, bear with me. No, if there are any people out there that know more about science, biology, health, things like that, please feel free to correct any of the things I'm saying, because I'm doing my best to explain it in my bro science terms. So yeah, people falling victim to situations like this, not that uncommon, but that saying, nobody is dead until warm and dead, is actually, I guess, a saying in these colder climates because of how common this is, apparently. Again, I don't know how true that actually is, but I read it in a site that these people seem to know what they're talking about. So, other science people, I don't know. I gotta take their word for it.
You know...
I don't know.
I don't know about warm and dead. Warm and dead, like, I don't know. It's like something like, it's almost like a juxtaposition. It's just... You know, it's like icy hot. Like, they don't belong together.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, when you think cold is the grave, you know? Like, when you think of, like, someone moving on, it's like the warmth leaving them. It's like, warm and dead don't go together. They're not compatible terms. It's an oxymoron to me.
I think that's why, like you said, I think that's maybe why they say, because, like, if you try to warm up a bot and they are still dead, then it's like, it's just a weird, I don't know. I don't know.
Then you got a toasty corpse, and that's just not okay.
No, I'm sure the smell's not great. But yeah, so remember, Jean wasn't just a little icy, she was in pretty bad shape. In the words of George Sather, the physician who actually treated Jean, the body was cold, completely solid, just like a piece of meat out of a deep freeze. So the main issue with that is, unlike many materials, water takes up a great volume, like a greater volume as a solid than it does a liquid. So if suddenly the liquid has expanded to take up a greater space than the container holding it, like AKA your body, that is potentially really bad news for your body.
It sure is. Think of like a frozen water bottle. Like if you leave a water bottle in the freezer too long, like best case scenario, you have like just really nicely chilled water. But like if you leave a water bottle in a freezer for like a couple days, that thing's gonna expand beyond the plastic and it's just gonna rip apart.
Exactly. So even just a few stray ice crystals kind of blooming in the wrong place, that's what causes what causes frostbite. It wreaks havoc by piercing the cell membranes with their needle-like shards, and it turns it black.
Yeah.
It kills those cells. And that's what frostbite is. And that literally, like you said, it can happen to your whole body little by little, and then it's a bad time.
Yeah, especially if you don't freeze uniformly as well. Because I'm sure, like, while she's walking, her legs are, like, generating heat because they're walking. But her arms might not have been moving, so they might have frozen first. Her head might have frozen first. Her torso might have frozen first. Whatever is not being active, like, it's not going to retain heat. The kinetic heat isn't going to travel. It's not going to disperse evenly through the body. It's like when you're in a freezer, you're supposed to cover your hands and your feet and your head first and leave your torso bare, because they're like, those are the heat expansion points. Like, that's just where heat leaves your body.
Exactly.
I've also got my science hat on. As soon as I saw yours, I was like, hee hee hee.
No, perfect. We're matching. We're doing our best with the science. I needed my co-science host here because I'm not that sciencey.
They're here for the science. Love the science.
Yeah, no, but exactly what your point. All these things, there's so many variables in the situation that really could have made the situation just go so wrong. And then to top that off with the fact that they used literal heating pads. So I guess that's another thing that, like, in these situations, it's so common that they have actually, people much smarter than us have made a machine that is made for this exact situation. Just Boston Hospital was so rural, they didn't have these machines out there.
Yeah.
But it's basically like, it's this handy little machine that basically pumps a patient's blood through a heater and then back into their body. So it's almost like a dialysis machine with like a little built-in heater.
I'm sure that hurts like hell as well.
Yeah, it doesn't sound comfortable. It does not sound pleasant at all. Super uncomfy. I literally got like skeeves reading it. I'm like, I wouldn't want to be hooked up to this machine that's pumping my blood out and then pumping it back in. Like,
no,
that's just
especially
not
if you feel like
a
your
fun-
skin is not heating up at the same level as your blood. So like, you've got cold skin and you've got cold blood, and then suddenly hot blood, or I guess warm blood, is being introduced. It's like you feel like prickly, like we're both like flinching.
I literally, yeah, I know. Like, you know, when you take a sip, like you are a cold, like you come in from being cold outside and you take a sip of something nice and hot and you feel the liquid, like,
yes,
like
you can literally feel it moving down.
I hate that feeling. Whether it's cold, hot, I don't want to feel anything in my body. I want to forget that I have organs. I'm not a human being. I exist as like an omniscient like pair of eyes. I don't want to feel my fucking organs. Fuck off.
You know what? Like, my first thought is like when you were like, you have cold hands and then you turn on like the hot tap and you rinse your hand. It's like hot water is hotter when your hands are cold.
Oh, yeah. Or your toes when you get in the shower, like you said, and you're trying to warm up and it just burns and you're like,
it's agony. Like, yeah, you get into a hot bathtub and you're like, your body is like, your feet have been on the cold like bathroom floor and you get into like hot water and it's like, oh, this is awful.
And that's literally what this hospital was doing. Like I said, they were doing their best, but this was basically caveman type tactics. They literally started the fire in the cave and just pushed her body up towards it, and they were just like, well, now we just gotta pray and hope for the best. Yeah. And like that, and it worked. To their credit, it totally worked. She was fine. She had a little bit of frostbite on her tips, but like,
I really hope, I mean, this is the 80s, so I don't know how much, like, weight I can put into this. I really hope they were kind of, I'm going to use this word very loosely. I hope it was a smart heating pad. And I hope that the temperature was adjustable. That's what I'm trying to go with this, where it's not like we have two modes on and off. I hope it was like, like put on heating pad at level 2 and start there, and then put heating pad on at level 4 and then go, and then put it on 6 and then put it on an 8. I hope that they were doing it that way rather than it's on or it's off, baby. Like, good luck.
I mean, yeah, like you said, I really do wonder. These are things, like you said, because it was the 80s and because things just happened and then they just like reported it and they're just like, it's a miracle. No one was paying attention to the heating pads. They put so much they're like, it was the prayer that saved her. It's
not really an experiment you could repeat either. It's like, can we reproduce the exact same results of like, okay, well, first let's find another human popsicle.
Yeah, who wants to volunteer for that? Do we have any takers who wants to lay outside in the cold for 6 hours? Yeah, first you have to exert all your body energy.
Yeah, you've got to walk from this point to this point, fall exactly at this point in this pose, but also wear the exact same amount of layers so that you're like insulating. Don't forget the cowboy boots; they're very important. It's. Yeah, so I've still got like skeevy blood syndrome going on. Like my arms, I'm like trying to keep like tucked because I'm like, ugh, I can feel my blood moving.
I know. I didn't put any. I don't know if you noticed, but there was no like warnings for this one, no trigger warnings. So like maybe I don't know, maybe
No,
gives you the skeeves a little bit. Like, I don't know.
Warning everybody, this is a skeevy episode.
Because like we've been skeeving a lot here, but I also like it's not like that bad. Like we're just babies.
We are babies. We're sensitive.
We are very sensitive.
But thinking about the hot blood going through a cold body just doesn't sit well
It's
with
not
us.
nice. No. Oh god, that's so funny.
Got the blood skeeves.
Got the blood skeeves.
Guys,
That's
everyone
so
write in. Did you get the blood skeeves this episode? Raise your hand. We're doing a body count.
Oh my gosh, just tweet at us on Twitter, hashtag blood skeeves. That's the worst. I don't like that.
We're coining this term, guys. Spookery blood skeeves.
Blood skeeves. Oh my gosh, but really, yeah, the blood skeeves, it's what made Jean's recovery story just stand out to me so much more, was just, she became a human popsicle, they thawed her out of this human popsicle state in the most caveman manner, but she lived with just no anything. Like,
Yeah.
she's perfectly fine.
At least I didn't give her alcohol, because that would have made it, like, 10 times worse.
Like, give it, like, to drink?
Yeah. Because that's actually a common misconceptions. Like, people, when they're cold, they're like, oh, take, like, a shot of whiskey, it'll warm you right up. And it's a misconception.
Oh.
It gives you the sense of warmth, but it's actually, like, pulling your blood vessels in. So it actually makes your body colder by like a natural term. So like people will say that like, oh yeah, so like warm yourself up, like have a hot cup of whiskey, makes like everything 10 times worse. It just gives you the illusion of heat, but it's not real. And
Is that what a hot toddy is?
Hot toddy? I have no idea what a hot toddy is. Should we look
Google.
Quick to the Google machine.
Hot.
KS hot toddy.
Okay. KS.
KS.
It's a cocktail. It's whiskey, honey, and lemon.
Okay. Yeah, don't have a hot toddy.
And it's hot.
I'm gonna retract my earlier statement. I can't remember which one keeps you warm. I think, because it basically when your body is reacclimating, your blood vessels kind of move, which is a really weird thing to think about, especially with hot blood and the blood skeeves.
You're giving me the blood skeeves again.
I'm sorry.
I tried to divert this, and you brought it back to the blood skeeves.
I'm sorry. But I was like, when your body is warming up, your blood vessels, I think they move closer to your bones, which keeps like your internal heat more.
Okay.
It's a very like
God, I hate being a mammal.
Mammals, man. Not even once.
Not even once. Fuck being a mammal.
Just fuck being a mammal. But no, I think I'll fix this in the recap episode if it's not true. But I think if your body is heating up, your blood vessels come closer to your bones, and it keeps like your heat more internal, which makes your skin feel colder, but it helps keep you warmer. And then when your body is trying to cool off, it pushes your blood vessels closer to the skin because it's trying to get the heat to radiate out. And what whiskey does is it pushes the blood vessels out to give you like a false sense of warmth, but it's actually like it's trying to emit heat. So it makes it much, much worse. So do not give alcohol to people who have hypothermia. Also, don't give them hot chocolate. Fun fact for you, don't give them hot chocolate because that warms them up too quickly. And that can actually do
anything
a lot.
with the name hot.
Yeah, don't give them anything hot. Give them like the cold shoulder. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. No, but give them, if you've got a hot chocolate packet, do it in like lukewarm, like
I'm like, here's your ice water. Fuck off, bitch.
Don't give them ice water. You really want to just like, wrap them in like blankets. Don't heat the blankets, just wrap them in blankets. I like try and like keep that, like that penguin mentality. It's like the body heat. Because that's where you kind of want to get them first. And like they'll, like a lot of people when they have hypothermia, I think they get like, that like mild delirium where they're like, I'm cold, I need to be hotter, but you can't listen to them. The other risk with hypothermia and like being cold is it's like a phantom heat illusion where like they're so cold they feel warm, so they'll start like taking their clothes off and trying to like cool themselves off. But it's actually because their body is so cold that they are removing layers. And like we talk about this, we talked about this before Spookery. We had a couple of cases where that was like a thing. A famous example is the Cecil Hotel. With, the disappearance of the girl in the water tank, which is
Elisa Lam.
Lisa, that's her name. I was like,
yeah.
Lynn.
Oh, it haunts me. I think I watch an Elisa Lam video like once a year. Has anyone figured anything out?
That's your character arc Spookery story. Like that's gonna like we're both still like this. I'm like literally pulled up my blanket because I'm like
it is 102 degrees right now for me, and I'm sitting here like bundled up. Like, oh my god, this is giving me the blood skews.
It's a cool 80 degrees where I am right now.
Fuck off.
But my inner arms are so warm right now, guys. Like, while you're listening to this episode, feel your inner arms. Are they hot? That's the blood skeeves.
That's the blood skeeves. You can feel it. Oh gosh. Congratulations, you have the blood skeeves.
Congratulations, you've got blood skeeves. It's highly contagious.
It's highly contagious.
Just listen to this episode.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, just listening to this episode, you got the blood skeeves.
You got the blood skeeves.
Oh, that should have been our trigger warning.
I mean, we can do it. We can do it later.
We can throw it in.
Trigger warning this episode, everybody. You're gonna get the blood skeeves.
Just find out what that means later.
Yeah, that's a problem for future you.
If that doesn't sound like something you want. We're gonna scare people away.
Oh, yeah, they're like, what the fuck is a blood skeeve? And we're like, you'll find out.
Trust me, it's not that bad.
It's pretty bad. Oh, man. So there you go. There's my science hat. I don't know if you've got more
No.
topics of discussion, but now I've got really warm arms.
You had way more science than I had, and I'm honestly so grateful to have you as my co-host, because truly you expanded upon all of my notes so much more. You read my script and expanded on it without even seeing it, and it was perfect.
That's why the Spookery works so well. I know that you're gonna do the exact same when it's my story up next, so like it's gonna work out so good. But man, what a fucking harrowing story! Like the physical discomfort that story created.
Right? And again, there was no perpetrator. It was Mother Nature. That was the monster in this was just Mother Nature.
Yeah, it was a freak accident. It really, really was. And like, if like things had been done like even so slightly different, like if she had just like kept going until the front door, if she had like hit the door, like when she blacked out, maybe like that would have done something. If Wally and his nighttime female friend, Sally, if they had decided to like be a little bit slower in the morning, if like they decided to take a longer shower or have a longer breakfast, or they slept in, like I'm sure like Jean's survival was 100% like down to the minute rather than down to the hour.
Oh yeah, I think it really was, like you said, it was very, very close to the timing of it all. So yeah. She was very lucky. But honestly, what do you do after a near-death experience like this, right?
Yeah.
So I do have some notes on Jean after her icy experience.
Yes!
If you guys want to hear.
Let's do it.
So after Jean's icy experience, like I said, her story was picked up by news stations across the country. She had already toured all the local churches as the Miracle Girl from Langby, Minnesota, but now she was headed to New York City, baby, where she would be interviewed on the Today Show by the one and only Tom Brokaw.
Who?
I don't know who Tom Brokaw is. But
no, but the one and only. There's only one of them.
I mean, he was on the Today Show, so I imagined he was the big guy.
I'm sure he's great.
I'm sure he's great.
Probably.
He interviewed Jean, so he's great. But yeah, everyone in her life was telling her that she was saved for a reason. And I'm sure that was a lot of pressure for a 19-year-old girl.
Yeah.
But as the attention started to kind of die down for her, Jean said that the experience really did not change the trajectory of her life all that much. She said that she kept waiting for something dramatic to happen. Almost everyone she knew told her that she was saved by a miracle. But those things are supposed to happen for a reason, but her life was just normal.
Yeah, talk about a fucking Christmas miracle though. Like fucking Crimbo. Can you imagine being her parents?
Right.
And one finding out that your daughter nearly died being a frozen popsicle, but recovered miraculously right before Christmas. Like that could have been a really, really awful time of year for the family. Like if things had gone any other way.
Yeah.
And now it's just like this. Remember that time you almost died? Like, geez.
Yeah. Seriously. It's just, man, insane situation for her. But I don't know how you come out of that. And like you said, everyone's just like, what a miracle. What, this happened for a reason. What are you going to do with your life? Like, just, I don't know, the pressure that holds with it. And she's like, I just want to be me. Like, I just want to go live. And
it's one of those, like, the events of your life overshadow your life almost, where it's like people are so focused on you being like the human popsicle girl that they don't see you as Jean anymore. They see you as like, oh my god, you're like chosen by God. You literally survived. And she's just like, I just want to be me. I want to like move past it in a weird way.
Exactly. And I think that's a totally normal response and a totally valid response. And I think the happiest ending of all is just that she, lived and that she's able to go and just choose to do whatever she wants to do. And if that's, getting married and having kids and just living her life, like that's totally up to her. And, that's exactly what she went on to do. Jean just has a great normal life. She's being a great mom and just doing her thing. She's still happily living in Minnesota. So is Wally, actually. They're both just, to this day, just hanging out. I don't think either of them are going to want to leave, which is crazy. Minnesota's just home for them.
Minnesota, not even once.
Not even once. Oh my gosh. Yeah, once you're there, you can't leave.
No. It's like the Hotel California, but it's an entire state.
It's the whole state.
The whole state. Watch out, guys. No, I feel like, I hope that Gina's surviving and thriving because, God, she fucking, deserves it. I bet
Absolutely.
her 2 truths and a lie game is, on point.
Oh my God, right? She's probably she's like, yeah, so I have 3 dogs. I once froze solid in the middle of winter. Also, I hate carrots.
And everyone's just sit there going, what?
Does she really hate carrots? I think I saw her eat carrots last week.
Yeah, fuck, yeah. Next she's gonna say she's allergic to artichoke. No,
man.
Man, I truly, I hope nothing but the best for Jean. What a fucking harrowing tale. I feel like I probably would not have fared as well.
Absolutely.
If you don't mind me asking, do you know what her, rough, physical traits were? How tall she was? Because that also might have had a hand in it. Just, how her body was,
Yeah, no, those are actually good questions. I really couldn't find too much on it at the time. There was a few pictures of her, but there was honestly it was her as a teenager sitting in the hospital bed, so it was kind of hard to, like you said, kind of really see anything. She was just smiling and happy, I'm alive. I was frozen 5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
that smug little smile.
Yeah, it doesn't pretend to the story at all. It was just I wonder if just her physical traits helped with the survival, or what kind of coat she was wearing. Did she happen to have her boyfriend's coat or her dad's coat that she was wearing over top? Maybe there was something in the back of the car. It's little freak things that you don't even think of in the moment, but they make all the difference.
You're so right. Absolutely. And even just I don't know, her hair being up or down, small things, if she had long hair, it helped shield her neck from the cold, or small things that, like you said, you wouldn't even think of. Or maybe she happened to just be wearing a beanie, or I don't know, or her dad's work hat was in the truck and she's all right, I'll take that. And that really helped keep the heat in her head. Who knows, there are a lot of small details. The only thing that was truly noted about appearance, apparel or otherwise, was the cowboy boots.
I mean, fair. Yeah. Classic. I mean, get yourself a good pair of cowboy boots. They'll get you through anything.
Right?
Apparently.
Yeah, those boots were not made for walking, and yet they got her where they needed to go, so...
Yeah. I mean...
But you called that, though. You were like, man, those boots, she's so lucky she's not slipping and sliding everywhere, and I'm like, God damn it, don't give away the ending.
I'm so sorry.
You literally,
when I think cowboy boots, I don't think of the cold. But I'm not a cobbler. I don't know anything about
I think she was wearing them out to go dancing. That was the
Yeah.
intended purpose of them, was for dancing.
I mean, it's nowadays, people will wear beautiful high heels. They're not designed to keep your feet protected during winter.
Yeah.
They're designed to look cute and dance the night away.
Exactly.
And maybe she needed a proper I don't know. Someone correct me. Tell me what the ecological implications of cowboy boots are. I need to know. Are they made for walking, or are they made for dancing?
I mean, at the end of the day, I do think cowboy boots were invented for the purpose of riding horses and stuff. The way that they're shaped and everything, right? They fit in the little things of.
I guess maybe it's just my personal bias. I don't think of Minnesota as a cowboy boot state, but it might be. But I also think of Montana as a cowboy boot state, and I know Montana is just as cold, if not colder, than Minnesota. So
I know nothing about Montana, so I can't fact check that.
That's
I'm
where
defer to your knowledge.
Dolly World is.
Dolly Parton?
Yeah, she has her own theme park.
Why am I just learning about this right now? Is that real? Is Dolly World real?
Is it Dolly World or Dollywood? It's one of the two. But yeah, she has her own little place. I think
it's Dollywood.
Dollywood, and it's in Montana, I believe.
What? I think you're right. Yeah,
it's
a theme park that's jointly owned by the Hirsch Family Entertainment. Country singer Dolly Parton, through her entertainment company, Dolly Parton Productions, is located in It's in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, so it's not in Montana. You lied to me.
No,
okay,
I thought Knoxville was in Montana for a minute, and then I was like, wait, that's Tennessee.
Knoxville. So Dollywood is not in Montana, but I thought. Fuck, I don't know. I don't know anything about anything. Everyone disregard everything I've said this episode.
Yeah, no, it's in Tennessee. It is in Tennessee. It's confirmed. I'm on the website right now.
Okay.
I'm booking tickets right now as we speak.
See you in Tennessee, everybody.
It's
Okay, so I got that was my 2 truths and a lie. It was like Dollywood's real. It's in Montana, and cowboy boots are.
Oh my gosh. I don't see any snow on this, but I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like that's definitely worth like a recap note. Is like, are cowboy boots built for the snow?
I am gonna look into it more. I don't think that they are, but I don't know. Maybe they're all purpose. Maybe they're like work boots.
Maybe. Like, I don't know. It's once again my own personal bias. I have to reevaluate my personal biases because cowboy boots and snow don't add up in my head. But
it probably depends, right? So there's probably like cowboy boots that are like aesthetically just pleasing cowboy boots, and then I'm sure there's like well-made cowboy boots like with good materials that are made to withstand certain climates, temperatures, and things. Yeah. We're gonna do our research. We're gonna come back to this.
We're gonna become cobblers. We're gonna learn.
Oh man!
My compliments to your cobbler.
We'll come back to this in a minute.
I don't know, maybe there's like different kinds of cowboy boots. Maybe you got like the winter cowboy boots and you got the summer cowboy boots, which are a little bit more airy and they're breathable.
Like, have you seen the cowboy boots that like are cut to look like sandals? So like the toes come out?
No.
Yeah, they're cursed. They shouldn't exist.
See them on our Instagram, everybody.
That's actually what Jean was wearing that night. That's why it's
God.
so crazy. Is she had exposed tootsies the whole time.
Oh God. Oh, we've gone fully derailed. We're gone. The slap
All
happiness
right.
has gone.
We're here.
Oh fuck! All right. And on that cursed note,
I think it's time for a new category.
I think so. But thank you for just telling Jean's story, because it does deserve to get told. And just, man, what the actual fuck was happening in Minnesota? I almost said Montana. I'm in the Montana state of mind.
All is not okay in Minnesota.
Minnesota, not even once. Watch out, everybody. Oh God.
Watch out.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine now.
The spookery spirits are angry today.
They are angry. The wheel does not want to be wheeled in. All right. I can hear the rain hitting my window as we speak.
Oh,
all right.
I'm so excited.
Let us spin your new category. May the spookery spirits be ever in your favor.
Oh, I got the blood skeeves.
I got the blood skeeves. Oh my gosh. Ma'am. This was made for you.
What did I get?
Your next category is extraterrestrials.
Yes, I was hoping it was going to be aliens. It's aliens. It's aliens. Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Congratulations on your extraterrestrial category. Our first extraterrestrials. Our first out of body, out of world, out of everything experience.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I knew it was. I talked about it last episode. I knew it was coming. I could feel it in my bones.
I think I got scared last episode that I was going to get it. I think this is not one of my categories. This is not my wheelhouse at all. So I was like, fuck, I'm going to get extraterrestrials and I'm going to do it so bad. So I'm really glad you got it so I don't have to do it right now.
I am so excited. I don't even know what case I'm going to do, but there's so much with extraterrestrial. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Well,
oh my gosh.
Heckin' congratulations, ma'am. Congratulations on your extraterrestrials. The spookery wheel has spoken.
Yes, spookery spirits, thank you. Oh my gosh. I'm on my hands and knees right now. Just thanking the sky. Like, thank you. Oh my gosh.
Man. Jeez, the spookery spirits love you.
I'm getting blessed, truly. Wow. We got Survivor was a new category, and Extraterrestrials is a new category. Like, the first of the kind.
Yeah, and Unsolved Mysteries.
And, oh my gosh.
All new this season.
Yeah, new this season. People are going to have no idea how the ride they're in for this season.
No, I don't even know what the ride is for this season. I built the roller coaster and I don't know where it's going.
You're like, wait, this turn wasn't supposed to be here.
You're like, really? We have a drop right here?
Okay. Right here, and a loop.
And a loop? When did that get in here?
It's happening to us live, but it's wow.
Yeah, I think that's the beautiful thing about Spookery. Not even we know where it's going to go, and man, it's going in some really fun directions this season. And I know it's all going to come undone next episode.
I know. This has been a really high energy season so far. We've had really good cases, all ending on really high notes because of just the categories that they've been in, truly. So
did mine end on a high note because it wasn't real?
Yeah. It was happy to me. I was like, wow, okay, I have nothing to be sad about.
There you go. Oh man, well I guess it's time for me to tease my episode next week.
Yeah, what is your unsolved case, ma'am? Please.
So first of all, it's unsolved. So that's a thing. Second of all, it's real.
Oh,
it actually
wow.
happened. It happened.
Wow.
For those who are like, man, lady is nothing but a liar. It's true, but also this one's real. And I guess the actual real teaser is it's in the same geographical location as my last case.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't narrow it down much, but it's around there. It's around there.
All right.
It's there-ish.
All right. That's a teaser. We'll take it. We'll take it.
Yeah, it'll be a fun one. I'm literally so excited to tell about this case. Like next week, it cannot come fast enough because, like, much like Taylor Poe was like a personal one for her. This one's a big one for me. So.
Oh, well, that makes me extra excited. Then I can't wait to hear it, ma'am.
I think it'll be a good one. It'll be a good fun one. I've gotten a lot of like my family eyebrow raises with this one. So.
Nice. Oh man, well I'm extra excited. Next week can't come fast enough.
It really can't, and you don't have to wait that long. So
right? I wish I could just like click a button and fast forward. Just put me right there.
Yeah, but that's it. That's that on that. That's Spookery this week. What an amazing survivor story. Just what an amazing case. What an amazing adventure that we went on. The tangents, the sights we have seen. The
sights we have seen, seriously, wow. It was a very chilling tale. Now you understand why I said it was a cool story.
Suddenly the dad joke has dawned on me. Oh.
Yeah, it's not that funny.
Wow. That's a bit of an icy reception right there.
That was the groan I was hoping for.
No, I'm a pun lover, not a pun fighter, so bring it on. Bring it on.
Well, I'm glad the joke landed.
Yes. Then it slipped on the ice. Too soon?
Man. But I'm just... Well, this has been a fantastic episode to film with you. Well, to record with you. We're not filming. People can't see us. We're recording.
Not that they know of.
Not right? You never know.
You never know. You never know who's watching.
You never know.
But yeah, where can they find us?
Where can they find us? No, you can find us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Threads, at SpookeryPodcast.
Sure can. You can send us a Gmail at SpookeryPodcast@gmail.com. You can correct all of our science hat facts because I didn't look any up. I'm just...
We were talking at our butts, baby.
I always talk out of my ass, but you know what? It works out great.
It was great. No, I tried my best to do research on this, but it's hard. I'm not a science person. I don't know. So again, please just politely correct us if we did get anything wrong. We did our best to present this information as accurately and as entertainingly as possible, but if we did get anything wrong, we're very open to the feedback. So just let us know.
And then we will address it all in our recap episode.
Yes.
Corrections and concerns come to die.
Yes, and we'll go over, all the different types of cowboy boots that are available to you and where you can find those cowboy boots. So stay tuned for that recap episode.
Yeah, please do. Find out next week if cowboy boots are compatible with icy climates.
Yes. All right, everybody. Until next time.
Stay stooky, everybody. I said stooky. Stay spooky, everybody.
Stay stooky.
Stay stooky. Fuck's sake. It's too early for this.
Stay stooky.
Stay stooky.
One of these days you have to leave that in.
I know what the blooper of this episode's gonna be. So goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
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 Goodbye. Stay stooky.
Stay stooky.